Hey traders, Jason here from Leavitt Brothers. So in this video, I'm going to talk about trading with the RSI. There's three main ways to trade with the RSI. One is when stocks are coming through their overbought or oversold levels. Another way is play divergences, positive divergences, negative divergences. And the third way is playing with trend line breaks. Most people are at least somewhat familiar with the concept of overbought and oversold. Most people are also pretty familiar with the divergences and such. But most don't draw trend lines on their RSI charts. So that's what I'm going to talk about today because they're pretty powerful as a timing mechanism. Okay, it's not necessarily an exact indication like you got to get in right now, but it's more like a green light system where if you're looking to buy a stock, it'll let you, from a timing standpoint, it'll let you know that, hey, the timing right now is good. You can go ahead and buy. Okay, so that's what I'm going to talk about today. All the examples I'm going to show you are on the daily chart, but this works on all time frames, weekly charts, hourly charts, all the way down to the 5-minute chart, even if you're an intraday trader. So I think if you haven't been exposed to this will be very interesting to you. All right, before I continue on, quick announcement. We're having an open access month at Leavitt Brothers. Okay, no strings attached, no obligations. You don't even need a credit card to sign up. Just go to leavittbrothers.com/members/7766.cfm. It's in. You don't have to memorize that. Obviously, it's in the show notes below this video. Again, come check us out. Most of you here on YouTube have been listening to our videos for several years. So why not come check us out, see if we can help you navigate the market, make money and such. All right, let's get on with this little tutorial here. Okay, so what I'm going to show you is daily charts with volume, which we don't really need in these examples, and then RSI down below. I'm going to show you exactly how you could use RSI to help give you kind of like the green light to go ahead and do business. All right, so here's Apple. So you draw a trend line here. This gives you a trend line break right here, gives you the AOK to look for a long, okay? Because all during this time, you might be thinking, this is a great company. I want to buy it. I want to buy it. I want to buy it. I don't know where to buy it or when to buy it. A trend line break on the RSI from a timing mechanism gives you permission to go ahead and look for a buying opportunity. So RSI breaks out. Apple moves up. As long as RSI continues to move up here, you get a little dip here, which is perfect. This is actually a perfect scenario when you get a trend line break, stock breaks, stock moves up, moves sideways for 3, 4, 5 days in a range. You get a moving average that comes up and cups it. In this case, it's the 8 moving average. And that range gives you an opportunity to buy a dip, and then the stock continues on. All right, so moving forward, you get a trend line break here, which tells you trade is over. If you haven't already exited, you should have, stops should be moved very tight. And you can see that stock does indeed pull back. Then we have another entry signal over here where we have a high here, We have a trend line drawn here. RSI breaks out over here. So that gives you another buy signal. And then you can, moving forward, more further to the right, you have a trend line break to the upside, which means trade is over here, and you can see the stock move sideways for the next 3 or so weeks. Okay, so trend line breaks on the RSI, we're really good at calling turns, calling the end of a move. So check that out. So let's go to another example. Here's AEM, steadily trended up. You can see RSI over here on the left side of the chart in November, December, January was just moving up and down between 50 and 70. Okay, then we get a breakdown here, which coincides, doesn't coincide, but we actually got a break here right as the stock was topping and coming down. Stock moved down. We get oversold here, comes out of oversold, comes back down, moves up, comes back down. So we get like a little bit of a double bottom with the second hump being higher. Then we get this thing comes out of a base here. So here's your trend line break over here. That gives you the green light to get long. You'll notice here after we get the green light to go long, we get 4 days of sideways movement. So lots of opportunity to buy a dip. And then the stock continues up from there. So as a timing mechanism, as a if you want to get long but you're not sure where or when, it helps time an entry. And then RSI breaks down there, comes out of overbought bought territory and breaks a trend line right here, that tells you move stops really tight or just exit. And you can see from there the stock moved sideways for several weeks and hasn't done much since then. So both on the way up and on the way down, trend line breaks with the RSI were a really good timing mechanism for getting into and out of positions. So here's AGI. Stock steadily trended up. We have a trend line break here, which tells you this uptrend is over. We then have a breakout here where a trend line break happens, plus we move above, which happens to also be the center line, so that gives you permission or the green light to get long over here. And notice again, we have 4 candles moving sideways in a range while the 8 and the 21 scoop it up. So there's opportunities to buy a dip within this little bit of a range, and then as you can see, it continues up from there. So again, trend line break helps with entries, it helps with exits, it helps give you a vantage point that might not be apparent when you're just looking at the price chart. So here's CLSK, okay, stock. So over here on the left side, stock was trending down, trending down, trending down. So we got a breakout over here. Okay, so like right over here, we got a breakout. Stock then moves sideways, gets scooped up by the 8 moving average, which is the light blue line, and you can see it trended up nicely there. Then it breaks a trend line there, which is the end, could be the end of the trade. You can certainly let it go with a tight stop and just see if you can milk it for a little bit more. But you got it. You're given a warning here that the stock's probably the trade is probably over. And then, so while the RSI is trending lower here, the stock dips, tries to bounce, and then continues down. So for active traders, this would be a short entry over here because the RSI failed to recover. So let me delete some of these to clean up the chart. So then moving to the right, we have another trend line break here where it breaks the trend line and comes out of oversold territory. Stock moves up, comes back down and tests and goes up again. So there's some valuable information revealed from the RSI there. Then we have like a little bit of a falling wedge with the RSI there. That gives you a pretty good timing mechanism again for getting long what is about to be a big move. Okay, so as a timing mechanism, it works great. Trend lines can be drawn, chart patterns can be drawn on the RSI. They help you see something that you might not see with the price chart. So here's CPNG. So looking middle of the chart, we have trend line break here. So even if you like the stock, let's say for whatever reason you like the stock, you're wondering, should I buy here? Should I buy here? Should I buy here? There's an update with a little bit of follow through. There's an update. Where should I buy? If you wait till the RSI breaks the trend line, then your odds of success are significantly higher. So RSI breaks out, stock moves up, okay? And then going further to the right here, you get RSI trades. We have another pattern that forms and it breaks out over here. Notice it breaks out prior to the stock breaking out. This stock formed a nice ascending triangle pattern. Same highs at 16.5, higher lows down here. Stock getting compressed by converging trend lines. Breakout of the RSI helps you get into the stock a little bit early. Next one, IOT Samsara. All right, so looking left here, we have breakout here, which helps you, which gives us the green light to look for an entry over here. Okay, stock then trends up, as you can see. Then we have RSI breaks down here, which tells you if you're not already out, certainly you would be out here. Okay, stock then moves sideways, and then you get another breakout here, which tells you, coast is clear. You can then get long again. Okay, so simple indicator, nothing fancy, nothing too complicated. It just helps you get a different perspective on what's going on. Sometimes the price chart is crystal clear and you don't need indicators. Other times the price chart's a little bit messy, and funneling the price action through an indicator smooths it out and gives you some sort of perspective that you don't normally see. So trend line is powerful on the RSI. Okay, next one, MARA. Okay, so stock was down. RSI breaks out over here, comes out of overbought territory. sets up over here for 3 days, trades 3 days in a little bit of a range. Then, as you can see, it continues on. So really nice price action there. Then as the stock is going down, well, it's not really down that much. It's just consolidating within a newly formed uptrend. We have RSI forms like a falling wedge pattern, breaks out here. Okay, so that's from a timing mechanism that tells you, okay, once that breaks out, now you can buy the stock. Then we have another little falling pattern here. And so from a timing mechanism, that breakout there, breakout here that coincide with that breakout coincides with that. So the RSI helps time entries, gives you perspective. Okay, again, sometimes the stock chart, sometimes the chart is a little bit messy, but RSI is pretty crystal clear with its simple up and down moves. Here is NG. Okay, stock was trending up, kind of sloppy, but rotating up, and RSI rotating up and down between 50 and 70. It breaks a support level there, tells you trade is over. Okay, notice that after moves down. That moves down hard, which some people would go short. Others are just protecting their long. While the RSI continues to trend down here, end of January, beginning of February, you get a dead cat bounce, but the RSI goes nowhere, which tells you that bounce is going to probably go nowhere. Then moving over to end of February, beginning of March, we have a positive divergence. I'm not talking about divergences in this video, but there's one just as an example. Okay, then the stock comes out of a base here, so there's your breakout. Okay, then it continues up, and so you have like green light permission to buy in here, and as you can see, stock continued up. Okay, so helped tell over here we got a trend line break that tells you the uptrend is over and any long trade is should be protected, and then we get a trend line break over here as the stock comes out of an overbought level, and that gives you the green light to look for a long. Okay, next up, ON. So this stock came out of a base here. That's not a very good trend line, but comes out of a base here to help with an entry. Okay, maybe you love the stock. Maybe you're wondering, should I buy that? Should I buy this? Where should I buy? Buy when it breaks out of the RSI. Okay, stocks trends up steadily above the 8. Then it comes, gets to overbought, then it drops out of overbought, breaks the trend line. That tells you trade is over. Okay, RSI is trending down, and then you get some more, assistance over here telling you like the uptrend is like about to resume. Unfortunately, right over here we had earnings, so I don't consider that to be playable. If you were in, you got lucky. I personally, especially in today's environment, I would not be playing that. But the signal was there, and if they didn't have earnings, that would have been a good buy. But trend lines helped over here on the left side of the chart to get in. It helped on the left, in the middle of the chart to get out. Last one, Riot blockchain. Okay, stock trending down November, December, trending down. RSI breaks a trend line, comes out of overbought territory, and moves up, as you can see. Then we have other buy signals. That's not what I want. We have other buy signals along the way, like there's a trend line break as a RSI trades in a little falling little rectangle pattern. So if you got a breakout there and a breakout there, which coincides with right over here, and right over here. So as a timing mechanism, you're wondering, should I buy this? Should I buy this? Should I buy? There's a lot of places to buy. Okay. So, but if you wait for the RSI to break a trend line, you're going to miss some trades because some stocks are just going to run early, but you're also going to miss a lot of losing trades where there's false breakouts. If you wait till a trend line is broken, then you'll have a much higher win rate. All right. So again, 3 major ways to play the RSI. I didn't talk about divergences. I didn't talk about overbought and oversold. Just talk about trend line breaks. They're really powerful. You should try them. Okay. Hope you got something out of this. This applies to all time frames, weekly, daily, hourly chart. You can go all the way down to the 5-minute chart. So come check us out again. Leavitt Brothers Open Access, free month, no obligations, no strings attached, no credit card needed. come check us out at the link below this video. All right, good luck. We'll see you next time.